Back in the 1970s, when the original Star Wars was in production, 20th Century Fox was pushing George Lucas to use disco music for the score, in order to give the film a contemporary feel that would resonate with audiences. And so if the studio had gotten their way, Star Wars would have sounded like this. Now thank God that didn't happen. George Lucas didn't want something contemporary, he wanted something timeless. He wanted something emotional and powerful. He wanted something that sounded a hell of a lot like the score from the 1942 film King's Row. And the result was a score by John Williams that's every bit as integral to the popularity and longevity of the Star Wars franchise as the unique world and its iconic characters. But as odd as it might sound, that disco version of Star Wars was almost as popular in the 1970s, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and even earning a Grammy nomination. The song is called Star Wars Theme Cantina Band, and it's from the album Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk, a disco album conceived and produced by Domenico Monardo, better known as Mecco. When Mecco was just a 39-year-old trombone player, he saw Star Wars when it first hit theaters in May of 1977. Apparently, he loved the film so much that he saw it 5 times in just 2 days. His first viewings were mostly focused on the action and plot, but as he continued watching, Williams' score grabbed more of his focus. That's when the creative juices started flowing. He later remembered thinking, everybody's going to want to see the film, and after they've seen it, they're not going to get enough of it. They're going to want to, are you ready? Dance to it. And with that, the idea for a disco Star Wars album was born. Mecco soon got to work and was able to secure funds and was joined by 2 co-producers, Tony Bongiovi and Harold Wheeler, who was also serving as the arranger. The 3 of them assembled a 70-piece orchestra, and many of those musicians were skeptical about the endeavor. According to the guitar player David Spinoza, not to sound snobby, but there was a lot more interesting sessions going on at that time. Most of the session musicians weren't big fans of disco music. It was a fad. They recorded the entire album over 2 days. For Mecco, the focus was on the unique sounds of the film. The squeals of droids, blasters going off, the engine of the Millennium Falcon roaring to life. Here's Mecco describing the creative process. John Williams' score was wonderful, but it wasn't a recreation of the movie. So how could I recreate the movie aside from putting in the voices of people? I was left with the sound effects, which was even more important to me, but I couldn't get them released from Lucasfilm. It was all brand new stuff, and it was hard to recreate. The goal was to release the album as quickly as possible while the film was still popular so they could capitalize on the Star Wars fever. Little did they know that the public's obsession with Star Wars would only go up from there. The album Star Wars and Other Galactic Funk was released later that same year in 1977, and the result? Well, whatever you may think about the music now, there's no questioning that the album was a hit. The album joined Williams' own score on the Billboard charts, at one point topping the Billboard Hot 100 in 1977. Then, in 1978, the album's song Star Wars Theme Cantina Band was nominated for Best Instrumental Recording at the Grammys. Ultimately, they lost to Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra, who won for Star Wars Theme. But in a classy move, Williams sent Mecco a plaque congratulating him for his album, adding the note, "Dear Mecco, thank you so much for this marvelous version." In the end, the album was certified platinum with 1 million copies sold and 2 million singles sold. It also influenced other imitators who created their own versions of disco Star Wars. There's a moon standing on the wall today. Can you feel the force? That rain is coming, he's coming back. He said he would. After his success, Mecco made overtures to George Lucas himself, seeking to collaborate in a more formal way. Lucas agreed, and in 1980, Mecco produced the album Christmas in the Stars, featuring a range of holiday songs. Anthony Daniels reprised his role as C-3PO on the album.
Christmas in the stars, Christmas in the stars, what a merry Christmas this will be.
The most notable part of the album may have been that it featured the first professionally recorded appearance of Jon Bon Jovi, who would later change his name to John Bon Jovi.
We look up at the winter star, we know that's where you are.
Mecco continued to offer his own take on the scores to the Star Wars sequels. He entered the Billboard charts again with his song Ewok Celebration to coincide with the 1983 release of Return of the Jedi. However, the Mecco magic would soon hit a major wall. Up until that point, John Williams and the other original creators received a royalty from Mecco's work. But in 1999, Williams added a clause in his contract that prevented any future recreations. And with that, Mecco's career seemed to die just as fast as disco. It's a shame, but I'm thankful that something so bizarre still lives on today. And more importantly, I'm thankful that this music never touched the Star Wars films. I love when a score not only complements a film, but elevates it. That's what movie magic is all about. Star Wars had that with John Williams, but there's so many other examples. Henry Mancini's score for Charade, Roy Webb and Love Affair. One of my favorite director-composer relationships going right now is Paul Thomas Anderson and Johnny Greenwood, especially his score for The Master. And you can stream these 3 films, along with their beautiful scores, right now over at Mubi. Mubi is a curated streaming service showcasing beautiful and interesting films from all over the world. Every day, Mubi premieres a new film, from iconic directors to emerging auteurs, and from dozens of countries all over the world. There's always something new to discover. It's like your own personal film festival, streaming anytime, anywhere. I've been working with Mubi for years now, and I love their dedication to helping preserve and showcase lesser-known films from all over the world. It's really a streaming service for people who love film, by people who love film. So again, go to Mubi.com/entertaintheelk right now in order to get an entire month free and check out everything Mubi has to offer at zero risk to your wallet. I've been waiting for 5 years to talk about Star Wars, but I just couldn't find a topic that interested me or a topic that hasn't been dissected to death. And so when I came across this little bit of film and music history, I just had to jump at it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and share it with your friends. And also leave me a comment below. Just in some way, engage with this video to appease the algorithm gods, to help motivate them to push this to other people so that way other eyeballs and other ear holes can hear it and see it. There's a lot of ways to help support Entertain the Elk and to help me make more videos. I'll have links to my Patreon account. There's thanks buttons here to donate $1 or $2. Consider it a cup of coffee as I'm working on my next video. I have merchandise. All of those links will be below. So if you want to help me and help me make more videos for Entertain the Elk, that's really the best way to do it. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.